How's it going, Shuffler?
I had no idea what we were doing. It just kind of appeared.
So, let's do that.
Well, hello there, guys. It's Bader here, and today this is going to be a hard one to record. Again. This is the second time I'm recording this video. The first time it was just way too sad. That's why I got these, just in case the dam breaks. I figured this video at least need a little bit more energy, because that's probably what he would have wanted. But you'll see what I mean in a second about that. Let's just hop right in. I've got some bad news for you guys. Or, well, that's an understatement. Sunday, June 16th, 2024. The world lost Ethan Shane Riley Shuffler. And if I'm being honest, it hit me like a train the day I found out. That's why I took a little bit off of YouTube. Sorry about that, by the way, but I needed some time, especially to properly record this video. The first one, it was in shambles. I had to re-record a few things and edit it, and I was like, it's better if I just record it and be a bit more energetic. I'm not going to be talking about what actually happened, besides the point that it was an accident, and out of respect of his parents, I'm not going to go into much further detail about that. Anyways, the video you guys just saw in the intro was the last video I ever recorded with Ethan Scott Shuffler, as I knew him, but that's not his real middle name. Took me a while to figure that out. But anyways, I'm first off, I'm just gonna be talking about how he was and how stuff we talked about and a bunch of stuff like that. But anyways, one thing for sure, I'm eternally grateful that I got to hang out with him. He spent the night before the accident happened, and to be honest, it was a fun night. Me and him, we listened to music, watched YouTube. We actually jammed. I remember we both it was too late to play the drums, but we both picked up our guitars. He had the green one, electric. He likes to play. And I had my Ibanez, and we both started playing along with. Yeah, he would play. He'd do his thing, and he was great at guitar, man. He was one of the best ever, especially electric, acoustic, you name it. But he's a lot better. Well, I didn't play acoustic as much, but he was good at acoustic. He was just good at guitar in general. But I sort of just play rhythm with him. But that's actually one of the last memories I have was him. He was actually complimenting my guitar skills a little bit. But compared to him, it's just dabble, as I say. And I remember, like I said, we listened to music. He ended up waking up and going to work the next day. And then that was the Saturday. That was June 15th. And I found out the next day about the accident and what happened. And then about the week after that, the next Saturday, was his funeral. And I give it to his parents, or if they did organize it or whatever. This is a pretty good funeral. It's like one of the best. It is one of the best funerals I've ever seen. But I've been to two, but it was a lot more organized. It was pretty the open casket funeral. That's what I was trying to think of. It was an open casket funeral. I saw a bunch of people I recognized, other friends of Shuffler and mutual friends. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. And of course, I thought one thing was cool. He had he got buried with Paranoid on record, which is cool. I know you really like that album, and some pics as well. And of course, one thing I got to say about the open casket thing was souls are real. I like to add, whenever you're around a person, there's a vibe to them, and I just didn't feel, especially Shelfer. Even if he was asleep, you kind of felt it. If you walked by the room he was sleeping, or had to for some reason walk past him when he was sleeping. But I didn't get that energy when I walked up to the cat. It was just empty. I know he's doing good up there, but he's looking down, especially now. But I figured I got to be more energetic. He would have wanted a more energetic video like this kind. Somewhat. I ain't getting too much into it. I remember the first time I met him. It was in English class back. I know the date is September 22nd, 2022. That's actually a picture right there of the first time I met him. Good thing I took a picture. We had a bunch of inside jokes too, like the gourmet meals. That's a funny one. Or we had I miss the handshake. That's one of the things I'll miss a lot. I already do. I miss him a lot, about every day, if I'm being honest. But I'm not going to really get into that here. We had our handshake. It was like a dab up, but instead we did the rock and roll. But it was just these two fingers. I'm going to miss doing it, I'll tell you that. But it was a cool handshake I thought we came up with. And like meeting, I got a lot off track the first day I met him. It was English class. I remember my friend Ryan. You guys probably seen him in a few earlier videos, if not, oh well. Yeah, he was telling me about him a few days beforehand, and then he came walking into class with a brown banana peel. It was somewhat brown, and Ethan, or Shuffler, as I call him most of the time. He had so many nicknames too, and that's all of his nicknames. I forgot to write that down, but that's an important detail. He had a lot of nicknames, we call him. And I remember seeing him, that big smile on his face, them blue eyes. He was wearing a Slipknot shirt, and he was like, "Come on, dude, eat the banana peel," because I used to do stupid stuff like that back then. But it's too brown at the time. I ended up hanging out with him a little bit in the auditorium, and after I met him that day, we kind of just never stopped hanging out until, well, now. But it was a fun ride while it lasted, hanging out with Ethan Shuffler. And the world's going to miss him. And I remember he was the only one I hanged out with on my birthday. We went Pizza Plus, and we went rock climbing right there. And he was the only person I really hanged out with the day of my graduation, too. That was a fun little adventure or whatever. But I got to move this along. And one thing I really liked about Shuffler was whenever he was around him, he was always happy. I don't recall a second. This is why I figured I couldn't be too sad for this video. I couldn't remember a second I saw him just like really like down. Like he may have just had a plain face, but like most of the time he had a smile on his face, and his fits too. He had some. It's always random. One day he'd wear something really cowboy, something rock, like sweats one day, but he always had it on point with all the different fits he wore, and he was just a joy to be around. He was hilarious. Some people said it was more goofy, but his impressions were good. He had a good Matt Foley impression, especially the van down by the river, and like it was just it was random and unpredictable, but the way he did it and the style of it was hilarious. Like he would like if he had so much potential as well, but he was hilarious. I remember. And I got to keep this moving. I could talk about Shuffler all day. I used to work with him in the morning. I remember the first week after he passed, it was pretty hard because I remember going around and just seeing all the different spots where we had conversations and stuff. And those conversations, most of the time, it was about music. And I remember all the different stuff we'd talk about music, on the band we were in, about making music, and we had dreams about making an album, going on tour, gigs, all that. That's the kind of stuff, and of course different bands as well. And I remember all the different. He liked a bunch of different bands, but I wrote down the most he introduced. He talked about I could remember. He really liked Sabbath. He liked Black Sabbath, Dio, Motorhead. He really liked Queen. Now, whenever I hear Queen, I just think of Shuffler. That's all I hear when I can think of whenever I hear Queen nowadays. Vince Sevenfold, even the Nightmare album. That's a great album. He showed me that one. Holy crap, we're at the 10-minute mark. I gotta move this. Judas Priest, that's the last thing he recommended me, was the third and fourth Judas Priest albums. Sadly, though, I'm not big on Judas Priest. But there's some good songs in there. He liked Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, a bunch of them. And one thing, all the music and everything. When I think back to Shuffler, he was a best friend. He was many things. He was a guitarist. He was a legend. But out of everything, when I think back to Shuffler and all the experiences we went through, I like being like together. It's the dams are ripping, but we're still good. Out of all the stuff we went through, me and him hanging out, making music, whatever it is. Remember, we used to play NIB a lot too, but I'm probably never play that in a long time. I still practice it every so often, but playing it with somebody, I'd probably not be a while. But my point, what I was getting to is when I think back to him, main thing that reminds me, like, he was an inspiration. Like, to always keep going. He always had a smile on his face. He was just, to me, it's like personally, just everything, hanging out all the times. Just thinking back of Shuffler, he was an inspiration, and it keeps me, like, especially drumming, keeps me going. Let's just put it this way: it's not personal anymore. And by that I mean, I'm not giving up on all the stuff we talked about. Those dreams, making an album, going on tour. I've started practicing every day in the morning, on drums every day. Different metal, mainly rock and metal, but that's why I'm here now. If you're, I'm gonna dox myself a little bit. Any musicians that play rock or metal, bass, guitar, vocals, maybe not drums though. It's more my thing, but in metal, that's what I'm mainly interested in. If y'all are looking for a band, you want to start a band, my Instagram's in the bio, and I'm serious about this thing, about the music thing. Like I said, I practice every day. I try several different. I just put my playlist on shuffle and I hit shuffle and I practice any song it gives me. And that's rock, metal. I've tried different genres. So if you're watching, if you're into that sort of thing, especially instruments, come on, contact me. Got to get to work. Stuff to do. But he actually gave me this shirt too. He gave it to me as a birthday present. That's why I decided to wear it for this video. But music dreams. Oh yeah, his last song he showed me, I remember his last Instagram note was Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. And the last song he showed me, I listen to it now, and it just inspires me and reminds me of him. And whenever I think of Shuffler, he inspires me to keep going, keep making music, keep rocking. And it was I Want It All by Queen. And he showed me the night before the accident. He showed me that song whenever we was hanging out. And it's a good song too, but I recommend y'all check it out. And let me see if that's everything. Of course, there's a lot you could talk about Shuffler. He was truly there'll be no. I will never meet anyone like Shuffler. Let's put it that way. He was one of a kind. He was great. Yeah, I could talk about him forever, especially, and everything. And I know I'm gonna miss him. Some of y'all, the world's gonna miss him. And sorry it took so long to record this video and all that, but yeah, like I said, if y'all, any local bassists and guitarists and vocalists want to get to work, I practice every day. Probably can't see it as well, but last song. I feel like there might be one thing I'm forgetting, but I'm looking at this paper here, and I'm pretty sure I talked about everything. Oh yeah, the Ethan Scott Shuffler thing. That's probably the one more thing. I kind of say it as his last ever kind of joke he pulled. some of us, because me and a bunch of other friends, I asked him about a few months after I first met him what his middle name was, and he told me Scott. And I believed that until the accident. And I found out at the funeral that his middle name was not Scott. And I was really sad at the funeral, of course, but I also was really surprised, but because like the Scott thing, I was like, it took me a second to really like, his middle name's not Scott, because like I'd sometimes call him Scott, Ethan, Scott Shuffler. That's another one, but all right, I gotta wrap this video up. Good thing I didn't, I got close at one point. I felt it. Some hear different. Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta wrap this up. There'll be more. I'll probably talk about Shuffler more in the future. Might be a podcast episode or something about that length. Just talking about Shuffler. I think that'd be a good idea. If not, like sometime in the future. But yeah, sorry about that mid-interrupted video. Yeah, I know it's kind of sad and it's more. I try to make it energetic, but this is future me here editing wise, and I forgot. I left one key detail out of this video. I forgot. My bad. Here now. I'm going to say it quickly. So basically, I may have missed a few, but I'm pretty sure I got most of them. I went through a lot of my reviews, and I tried to go through and find videos messing up, but I try to find all the videos of Shuffler, me and him recorded, and all of our other friends and stuff. So the playlist for that is in the description of this video. So if you want to, if any of y'all want to go and see all of what he was like while he was around, he was pretty funny. So with that, go back to past me, editing this like a month later. I hope you guys, well, no, I'm not going to say that. Well, that's about it for this video, and I got some videos coming. I went down a trip to Florida recently. Y'all see more about that in the future. Shuffler was supposed to go on that trip, and I almost didn't go, but, I figured she probably would have wanted to, and I wish he could have gone on it, but he was a good friend, like I said, inspiration. I think about him every day, about, like, not just work, but, like, music-wise. He had so much potential, too. So much potential. Do great things, but hopefully keep drumming, keep the dream alive, or whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next video and stream. Make sure to subscribe and like. And don't take your time for granted on this planet. And your loved ones and friends for granted. Live every day like it's your last. And it's about as much I want to say this video. And thank you guys for everything. And see you guys next video and stream. And Baders out.